Okay, don't say or, man.
Leave it for the pod.
I love you. And welcome.
Injury.
But dude, I for real don't know how to pronounce these guys' names.
Welcome to the podcast. That is the Heart and Hustle Cup podcast for all you Heart and Hustlies out there. I am your host today because our host is too embarrassed. You guys wanted to make fun of me in the last podcast, and now who's the one laughing now? Diego. Laughing with his friends in his house. Diego is not going to join us today, but we are doing it live. We're doing it live. We're still here with Alonso Valenzuela, Homero A. Valenzuela, Antonio Valenzuela, and our sixth man of the year, Homero R. Valenzuela, El Patron. Thank you for joining us again. We are excited to talk a little bit about everything that has to do with football in the football world lately. Like I said earlier, Diego cannot join us today because he is too good for us when his friends are around. So what we decided was we're going to put this podcast on our backs and carry it all the way to the finish line, which might be this episode. No, we're going to keep on going because we got a lot of soccer left to go. And possibly the Olympics. Is this an announcement?
Dude,
Think about doing Olympics.
We'll think about it.
We'll think about it, but that would be very fun. So just a quick little breakdown of what we're going to be doing in this episode. We're going to recap a lot of the games that have been happening in the Euro and in the Copa America. And then we're going to talk a little bit about predictions because both of the tournaments are in the knockout round. This is where things get spicy. The Euros have already been in the knockout rounds a little bit, so let's get right into it. We're going to recap some of the games from the Euro 2024 tournament. And this is from games since the last time that we did a podcast. So Homero has these scores. So let's announce some of those scores, Homero, if you may, starting from when we stopped doing the podcast altogether.
And we're
Way behind.
A little bit behind. So this is going back to Monday, June 24th. So we're just gonna go really quickly.
Yeah.
On that day, Spain played against Albania. They won 1-0 with a goal from Ferran Torres.
Ooh.
And another key game that happened on that day was Croatia versus Italy, where they tied 1-1. Luka Modric gets on the score sheet, 55 minutes, and then at the very death, a freaking golazo by Zakagiri. Alonso, maybe help me out with
Alonso, how do you say the name?
4 out of 5.
4 out of 5.
4 out of 5. Okay. On the 90th plus 8th minute, that was a golazo. I mean, he curved that in. It was Italy's last ditch effort on that game. So moving forward, on June 25th, France played against Poland.
That was crazy too.
Where it was 1-1, both penalty goals by Mbappe and Robert Lewandowski, finally getting onto the score sheet at that. Austria played against Netherlands, and they pulled up an upset, winning 3-2 over the Netherlands. And then we had Denmark against Serbia with a 0-0 draw. And the most exciting game of that day, England versus Slovenia, drawing 0-0. What a terrible.
We're going to get into England a little bit later. I got a lot to say about England. Seems like we talk a lot about England every single time. So,
oh my goodness. Let's keep going before we get started.
Yes, sorry.
Wednesday, June 26th, Slovakia versus Romania. They tied 1-1. Ukraine versus Belgium, pulling up an upset with a 0-0 draw.
0-0. There's not even highlights for that game.
No, it was not really good. Pretty much that was what ended up everybody drawing. So
Yep.
Georgia pulling up an upset with a pretty much a second squad with Portugal, even though Cristiano was starting. Ended up 2-0.
Yep.
Georgia pulling out a big upset there, getting some points on the board. And Turkey versus Czechia or Czech Republic or Czechia. Turkey pulling off the win with 2-1. And then we go into the round of 16.
This is where it gets spicy.
This is where things, I mean, first off, the bracket's already broken with Romania going into the next round going into it.
Dude.
So,
Oh,
but going into the round of 16, Saturday, June 29th, we had Switzerland and Italy, with Switzerland beating them 2-0.
Dude.
Goals by Fruller and Vargas.
Switzerland's looking good, man.
Switzerland played one heck of a game.
Should we talk about that game real quick? I mean, this is where it gets exciting, round of 16, you know.
Yeah.
Like you said, Switzerland, they were coming in hot. And honestly, I think Italy were not really coming in that hot. They had pulled off this crazy upset / tie at the end of the game against Croatia in a game that again, I mean, it was just a big upset at the end. Good for them, but then they came in to play against a team like Switzerland that's coming in absolutely hot. A lot of people predicted Switzerland to win, but that's a big upset for the Italianos. Were you able to watch that game, Patron?
We're off to a great start with our sixth man of the
year. Did you watch the game with Switzerland and Italy?
No. I haven't been following the Euro Cup. I'm sorry, man. Not much.
Six man, you know.
Yeah, there we go.
All right, six man. I understand.
Great insight.
Well, I watched the game.
Great
I thought
start.
Switzerland looked great. We're going to get into a little bit later who they're going to be playing next. Let's just move on with the games. Omerito, please.
Yeah, I really liked. Don't forget that Italy were the defending champions.
Oh, yeah.
So they are out. Switzerland pulling out an upset. And then Germany versus Denmark. Germany doing the job. 2-0. Havertz with a penalty. And Musiala, Jamal Musiala. Again, that kid is on fire.
Beast. And Denmark is not an easy team. They were playing very well, too. I really like Denmark. But I still have Germany winning the whole thing. Musiala is a beast, and he's so young. He's so young. Very exciting team to watch in Germany. They have a very exciting game coming up this week, too. I'm so excited for it.
Jamal Musiala was definitely one of my key players that I said at the very beginning. He can turn things around. But moving on.
Oh, yeah.
Moving on. On June 30th, we had England versus Slovakia. And Slovakia scored at the 25th minute and held on. And we're holding on.
Yeah.
And we're holding on. And then Jude Bellingham pulls off a freaking bicycle kick to go and send the game into extra time.
Golazo.
90th plus 5th minute.
Absolute golazo, man. Goal of the tournament.
Well, we were watching the game, and you guys were with me, right?
That was
I had goosebumps.
Oh yeah, you got goosebumps. That was insane. It's goal of the tournament. There have been some golazos in this tournament, but when you're talking about stakes, round of 16, Slovakia is about to pull an upset, and he saves the day. He saves the day in the last minute. That's the goal of the tournament. Yeah. It has to be.
Long throw in.
Yeah.
Header back, and then he just out of reaction, a bicycle kick. And then right in the first minute of extra time, Harry Kane goes and gets the goal. And then once again, England parking the bus and hold on to life. They get the win 2-1 over Slovakia. And even though there was that moment of magic from Bellingham and then Harry Kane doing what Harry Kane does best, just absolute poacher. Oh my gosh, England look
the best poacher.
They don't look
good
at all.
No. No, it's very disappointing, and we talk about it every podcast how star-studded England is, but it's never anything too exciting. I mean, Bellingham had a fantastic goal, pulled him out of the fire completely because this was about to go down as one of the biggest upsets in history to lose to Slovakia. Slovakia, they deserved the win, but Bellingham, he saved their butts, and they had all the momentum going into overtime there. So it was just like it's the game, you know. But I agree, England, they don't look too good. I don't like it. We talk about it every single time. I'll tell you who does look good though is this next game. If we're looking at the same
Oh,
schedule.
the next game was Spain versus what
Germany.
the Spanish commentators, what they call it, Georgia. Have you guys noticed? Have you noticed that?
Oh, here.
Oh,
They
instead
also
of
said
Georgia?
Instead of
Yeah.
Georgia, they say Georgia.
They also say Turkey different.
Turkey. But
Turquía.
at least the
Dude,
Spanish
Turkey's looking
commentators-
good. Sorry, we'll go.
We'll talk about Turkey. We're talking about
Turkey.
Turkey and Mr. Injury Report down there.
I know. Yeah, Spain goes and beats Georgia 4-1. Goals by Rodri, Fabian Ruiz, Nico Williams, Dani Olmo. Actually, they scored 5 goals because it was an own
It
goal.
was an own
too.
goal.
But they looked. I mean, they look good.
This Euro championship so far has been the championship of own goals. And Copa America, about the same amount of red cards in the Copa
Red
America.
cards, yeah.
Yeah.
Copa America red card.
It's so interesting to see the difference between both of them. You know, one is very tactical, and somebody I forgot how they said it. Maybe Omero, you told me about it, but it's like watching like ballroom dancing, you know, compared to like a Spanish club, and it's ridiculous the difference. But,
Rakata.
Spain, Alonso, we all know your heart, part of your heart is in Spain. How do you feel about this Spanish team? Have you watched their games?
I have. I am still very, very high on the Spain national team. I'm a little afraid, of their next matchup. I think it's going to be an exciting game against Germany.
Oh yeah.
I think that is almost like a final for this Euros, Spain versus Germany. They just unfortunately get matched up together really closely. But they beat Georgia, or however you say that, 4-1 on Sunday. Before that, they beat Albania 1-0. They beat Italy 1-0.
Yeah.
Again, it's been many, 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 many weeks since the Spain team has lost a game. So they're just on a winning streak. And I think my prediction is that they will upset alert. They will defeat Germany on Friday. It'll be a high-scoring game between the two. And hopefully the best team wins that day. And I think the best team will be Spain.
I like it. Who are the favorites to win that game? Probably Germany. Yeah, you're probably right because the host.
According to Google, it says 35% Germany, 35% Spain, and 30% extra time. So I don't really know what that means. It means maybe they have even chances, and then they'll
extra time might win. Okay.
They have a 30% chance.
Dang. Yeah, I like Spain so far, even though I still have Germany winning the whole thing. Spain has been my favorite team to watch. Let's move on with this recap of the last few games here that we watched with France against Belgium. France winning 1-0.
Yep.
Own
And that was
goal
an
again.
goal, right?
Vertonghen, got an own goal.
Yep.
Against them, and Belgium crash out on the round of 16.
France was attacking. They had so many chances that game, so many shots on goal. Near the end, there were a couple chances for the Belgium team that were going to pull up almost an upset because of how well France was dominating. But we still have Ninja Turtle with the mask on. It's giving him extra superpowers.
Eagle powers.
I saw that, them playing Portugal next, that, Pepe is gonna have a hard time keeping up with
Oh, dude,
Mbappe.
that's so true.
He's like, estoy cansado, patrón. Estoy cansado. Try and imagine, Pepe keep up with Mbappe. I mean, Pepe's had a heck of a tournament, but
A
it's gonna
heck of a
be a
tournament.
big challenge for Portugal for sure.
Great tournament for Pepe. France, I mean, well, let me talk about Belgium first. They had for the majority of the game, they had De Bruyne playing as a center defensive mid. It was very weird, and the commentators were talking a bunch about it. It was very weird, and it's really hard for a player like that to create chances for Belgium when he's playing so defensively in a spot that he's not used to playing, and everybody in the world knows that. I think the coach came in with a different mindset. Of course, maybe they wanted to switch things up to go against a team like France. France came in with the same game plan they always do, and they came out with the win. I'm still not very impressed with France, to be honest. I haven't been too impressed with them the whole tournament, but we're getting into the big games now. They're going up against Portugal, and there's a good chance that France is going to elevate as well. And Portugal, that's looking good, but that was a heck of a game with Portugal against Slovenia too. That was
Yeah, it ended up 0-0, and then it went all the way to the penalty shootouts where the goalkeeper
Diogo
was
Costa.
perfect.
Diogo Costa. Dang, man. Diogo
Perfect.
Costa
He made all three saves.
All three saves.
right.
I was going crazy. I don't know if you guys can notice in my voice, but my voice is kind of gone. We'll get into the reason for that in a little bit.
So
but
what was the reason that Cristiano Ronaldo was crying? Because he missed the penalty kick, or because that was his last chance to wear the Portugal jersey, represent his country, and that was it. That was the end of it.
It was just when he missed the penalty kick, he got really emotional because he said it's just the heat of the moment and the emotion just kind of overcome. I don't know how legit it was, but I saw that they posted, because everyone uses the GPS trackers now and they go and monitor a lot of things.
His heart rate, right?
Heart rate. Did you see that?
That was crazy.
I saw so when he when he went to go and take he peaked at 170 beats per minute. When the game ended. When the game ended, his heart rate shot up to 170. And then
this is the full time before penalty kicks?
This was before penalty kicks, I think.
Penalty kicks,
Yeah.
yes.
And
They
then
even have the heart rate when he takes the penalty. Yeah.
Yeah, and then it shows because it's all time stamped, when he's about to go and take the penalty, he dropped it for under 120. And then it peaked again after he scored. But yeah, he got really emotional when he missed the penalty. Well, actually, he didn't miss. I think people forget how good
that guy's
Jan
a beast,
is.
man.
He's not. He's a world-class goalkeeper.
Oh yeah.
And he picked the right side and made the save. And yeah, Cristiano, he got really emotional. And then he, at the end of the game, you can see his teammates going and surrounding him to kind of give him support. And he just got really emotional. I guess he just kind of felt like, I blew it there. I blew it for my team. But then it was good because he was the first one to step up to go and take the shot. And that really set really good example for his team, saying, hey, I might have messed up, but I'm going to make sure I don't. Yeah. And he got it off to a good start. He hit the side netting. So that's a really good shot.
That was such a good shot.
And Oblak's, went the right way too. He almost got it. But they went perfect. Diogo Costa goes and saves all three penalty kicks. Bernardo Silva kicked the last one to go and send him on through penalty shootout.
It's what do you guys think of that reaction from Ronaldo? Because I've been seeing so many different people with different reactions. Some saying that he shouldn't have cried in front of everyone. Other people saying that, you know what, it's just emotions. It's fine to let your emotions show. Of course, the worst opinion I've ever seen on it was Alexi Lalas. She was talking
Oh
about it
my
too.
gosh, I was thinking about it too.
You watched
I
that?
was
You
thinking
watched his
about it.
reaction?
Yeah, he's talking about, that he's like a superhero and the superheroes don't cry. It was like, no, you can cry after the game, but you can't cry in front of everyone. And this guy Lalas, man, he always talk, just he don't know what he's saying, man. So I don't really care, but I did hear about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But hey, the guy's human, and I mean, I really like him more than the little guy anyway. But the guy's human. You got a lot of emotion, so it could be a mix. That was my question. Could it be a mix of
Yeah.
feelings there, like, oh shoot, man, I really blew it. We could have won this game, and this is my last chance to play and represent my country.
Right.
So that was a big deal for him. It was a big deal, but um, hey, all the credit for the goalkeeper, all the
Oh
credit
yeah.
for the goalkeeper, pretty much.
I don't think people realize how difficult it is for a goalkeeper, especially now, because they've been changing the way they do penalties now that they do a change up. When they go, they do a shutter step or they do a quick little pause. Actually, the second penal that Cristiano Ronaldo did, the one, actually in the whole penalty kicks, he changed it up on him. He went up and he kind of like slowed and then he did it. It's so difficult for a goalkeeper nowadays to predict that, to predict like, okay, this guy tends to do like a little shutter step because so now I got to make sure I'm not jumping too early or anything. People don't really
Right.
recognize that. And the fact that somebody like Ronaldo can do a regular penalty kick and then his next penalty kick, he's going to do a little shutter step and the goalkeeper has to get ready to react to that. It's very, very impressive when a goalkeeper can save a penalty kick nowadays because of that. And for this guy, for Portugal, Costa, I think is his name, to save the 3 penalty kicks, that was one of the most impressive things. I was screaming. I couldn't believe him. And of course, they showed Ronaldo. Ronaldo was all happy. And as to his reaction to him missing the first penalty or getting saved, again, he's human. He's human, and those emotions, it could have just been either like, I missed the penalty kick combined with the man. This might be my last tournament. Um, Cristiano, you talked a little bit about the little guy and Messi. Messi really shows the what is pure talent in a person, because that's what Messi is. He's just pure talent. Obviously, he has a lot of hard work. But to me, I've always been a big fan of him because he's the definition of what hard work gets you to. He's ripped and he's always just going with his full heart out there. And he's been doing it forever now. So props to Ronaldo if you're listening to this. Yeah, right. Um,
Uh,
The next
anyway.
game with Netherlands against Romania, I didn't really watch it too much. I think I listened to it more than anything. I don't know if you guys watched Somero. Did you watch much of that game?
No, I watched certain clips here and there,
Yeah.
but the overall consensus is that Netherlands looked the best that they have all tournament. I mean, 3-0, they beat Romania 3-0. Cody Gapko gets on the score sheet, and then Malin gets
Mhm.
2 goals. From what I understand, Cody Gapko has been playing really, really well every game and pretty much showed out for against Romania. So
Yeah.
they are one to kind of keep an eye on, because this could be like the Netherlands of what you're used to,
Right.
where they could go and make the final. I don't know if they will make the final, but I think I,
They
I
You're
they
right.
might.
According,
Oh,
what everyone's saying is they looked really, really, really good. They obviously have a very, very talented squad. This guy Cody Gakpo is very young still, and he obviously a lot of people know he plays for Liverpool. So he's playing with the best of the best always. And for him to have a showing like this for his country, that's great, and it's gonna take them very, very far. They play Turkey, or Turkey, however they say it. they play Turkey, which is very unfortunate for Turkey because Turkey's been great, you know, and it's up against a monster like Netherlands. But when you make it this far, these are the teams you're going to play against. You know?
Turkey pulls out the win against Austria 2-1, which has been arguably one of the best games of the tournament.
Such a good game.
I think
Such
it
a good game. Alonso, I think you said you watched the game. You wanted to talk about it.
It was just so exciting. I think what's going around the news a lot is one of the very last plays from the goalkeeper from Turkey to save what would have been the equalizer.
Yeah.
You know, such a difficult ball to save. The guy heads it down. This is like it's the last minute of the game in extra time. He heads it down hard. It bounces. The goalkeeper has to time it exactly right. Boom, saves it under all that pressure. A lot of people are saying one of the best saves they've ever seen, especially given the pressure, you know, that won them the game, because who knows what would have happened if they went to extra time, right?
I know.
But they were going back and forth, nonstop, attacking, both sides attacking.
So fun.
Very even
it was
on
so
the
much
ball.
fun to watch.
Was this the game where they threw the shoes into the field?
Yes, there was a shoe, like a huge Nike shoe in the middle of the
Air Force Ones. They threw it right in the middle of the field.
I think there was like a breakaway from Austria, or I don't remember. Imagine a fan just like
they threw shoes, man. I know in like I think it's like
too much
Arabic
passion.
I think in Arabic culture, like when you throw shoes, it's like a sign of disrespect, you know.
Really?
And I always remember, like, I don't know. I think Dad will definitely remember this. But when George Bush was doing the press conference,
of course,
someone threw a shoe. Like,
the reporter throws the shoe. He's like, "Whoa!" They threw like a pair of shoes in the middle of the field. You can see it right there in the penalty box.
I just saw today too. Talking about, you know, Turkey, UEFA launched an investigation against one of the defenders. You guys see that? Because he was celebrating and he went like this.
Okay? Oh, it's like an ultra or a fascist sign or something like that.
So UEFA has launched an investigation into Turkey defender. I don't know how to say his name. Merit Demiral.
These guys just get themselves in trouble, man, all the time.
Alleged inappropriate behavior after he celebrated a goal at Euro 2024 by displaying a hand sign associated with an ultra nationalist group, which I think is called the Grey Wolves, because it looks like
dude. I don't know if you guys remember, but that's like NWO back when it was like WWE.
I remember that.
Do you remember that?
World Order.
New World Order.
New World Order.
So, yeah, and you see the picture, and he's throwing them both up. Man? You know, if UFO's watching our podcast by chance, I'm not in this group. I'm just showing the what he was doing, and they're launching an investigation. So we'll see what happens there. Very interesting, you know. Sidetrack a little bit there. I also do want to say, you know, when we were doing the predictions for this, never did I think that one of the most exciting games was going to be Turkey against Austria. And it was so much fun to watch because Alonso said it. They were attacking back and forth, throwing up gang signs, NWO, everything.
You just didn't know who was going to win. You know,
no idea.
Some of these games, you're like, oh, of course they're going to win. But this one, it was like so exciting. You had no idea until the last minute.
Well, right off the kickoff, right? I guess it was
it
was who was it? It was Austria that just took off, right?
Yeah.
Turkey gets the ball and they're counterattacking. They win a corner, and then off the corner, they go and get a goal.
It was nonstop action from the beginning. People throwing shoes. George W. Bush is like, "What's going on here?"
You got PTSD.
What's going on, man? What's going on?
Cristiano crying.
Cristiano's crying.
England being England. What a great
George W. Bush is like, "We gotta stop these terrorists. Now watch this drive."
Did you guys see the comments that De Bruyne made in the interview where they asked him, "Hey, you know, is this the last of the golden generation for Belgium or something like that. Did you guys hear about this? And he's like, what about Germany? What about Spain? What about these countries that are also, the golden generation? Sort of proving a point that the quality of the European teams right now is so good that a lot of these teams just battling it out. Of course, someone's going to end up losing. Someone's going to get kicked out of the tournament. It just happens to be Belgium.
Belgium played against France.
France
have won the World Cup, just prior to this one, and most of those players are World Cup
favorites to win the whole Euro.
It could have been either or, and unfortunately, right, it was an own goal that puts them through, right? And that own goal, there was no way he could have gotten.
No, it was a deflection.
An own goal again.
How many own goals, man?
But these
reminds me of Lake Gibson, reminds me of Lake Gibson with own goals.
Reminds me of Lake Gibson.
These quarterfinal games coming up, though, they are gonna be really.
Reminds me of Kathleen, with own goals.
That's true. Okay, quarterfinal. Let's just stay on the topic of the Euro since we're here. We have quarterfinals. Oh, geez. This weekend is gonna be so much fun.
Friday and Saturday games. Friday starts off with Spain and Germany.
Oh man, that's gonna be a good game.
And then later, Portugal against
Juggernauts.
Portugal against France.
So I kind of see
Juggernauts.
With Spain,
this Saturday.
Friday. Those two games are on Friday.
Friday, okay.
Yeah. So I see.
Then when we're gonna go to the beach, man?
Tomorrow, because 4th of July, the whole world stops for 4th of July. So tomorrow.
True.
Hey, yeah, by the way, tomorrow is the USA Independence Day. So.
Oh yeah. Sorry, everyone. Happy 4th of July. Let's continue with Spain and Germany.
Okay.
And to celebrate, USA got knocked out of the
tournament. To me, Spain and Germany, they both have I believe these two groups both have what I feel would be the best young players of the tournament. Yes. With Spain with Lamine Yamal and Germany with Jamal Musiala.
Phenomenal.
I think whoever goes the furthest is the player that's going to have the best young player award,
That's right.
Both players, Lamine Yamal, he's 16 years old.
So good.
Jamal Musiala. These
he played
guys.
A heck of a game too.
Yeah, and they are so key to their own country's success, right? And they both play in similar positions as well.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Lamine goes and plays on the right-hand side. I think Jamal's over on the right-hand side as well. But this is gonna be one heck of a game. To be honest, I don't even know who's gonna win.
My predictions and my brackets say Germany, but once the game gets here, I have no idea. It's gonna be such a good game, or it's gonna be 0-0 the whole game, and they go to penalty kicks. And
you have Manuel Neuer.
But Spain, I think in his last World Cup, I think they had terrible penalty kicks. Against who was it?
I don't know.
Morocco, I think.
That was Portugal. Well, I think they knocked out. Oh man, I don't know.
Man, who cares?
But either or, if it goes to penalty kicks, you have Unai Simon, who's been doing pretty well.
Yep.
And then you have Manuel Neuer. Right.
Legend.
Oh, it'll be pretty tricky. I think if it goes to penalties, I'll probably give the edge to Germany.
I got Germany winning it. Alonso, I think I know who you're going to say.
Of course, I have to go with Spain. I think this is the most difficult.
Haline.
I think this is the most difficult game they have for sure so far in the tournament.
Oh, yeah.
Pero Jolines, I think they're going to win it.
Well, this is when the tournament gets better now. The knockout round.
Yeah, man, it's so.
I think at the end, or maybe before the end of the tournament, you guys create the best team with the best players.
Oh, the players.
Same thing with the Copa America. Who will be the best team?
Good idea.
Goalkeeper, best defender. Anyway,
I like it. Good idea. We should. Who do you got winning this game, Patron?
Oh, I'm just gonna be with the home team.
Germany.
Yep. But it can go anyway. I mean, either way. So it will be really good to watch.
It's gonna be fun. So that's at our time, 12 p.m. on Friday. Then we got Portugal against France.
France!
France! France! Denmark!
I'm gonna go with the bicho. I'm gonna be with the bicho, man.
The son of a what?
What did you call me?
The bicho.
Sorry for all the Puerto Rican fans out there.
That's true. As there's no Puerto Rican fans in soccer, man.
Oh,
sure.
Yeah, baseball fans.
Man,
I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna go France. I'm gonna go France, but you know, I would like Portugal to win. That's who I'm cheering for, but I think France will get the edge there. Mbappe scores a goal.
Dude,
Masked.
Portugal. I think Portugal. I don't really see France. Like, I don't know. I feel like they haven't just been let go.
I agree.
They're barely getting by, right? I mean, they tied against Poland, right? And then they barely got this win off of an own goal against Belgium, right? I don't know. I think I'm looking at Portugal's team, and they just have a lot more firepower. And then you have like Diogo Jota coming off the bench and making a big difference too.
Every single time he comes
you have Joao Felix on the bench as well.
Yeah.
Vitinha has been playing so well in the midfield. Man, I think Portugal has the edge here. I'm gonna go for Portugal to go and beat France, go to the semifinals.
And you have Cristiano Ronaldo that wants to take. He's gonna take every single free kick, and it doesn't matter where it is. He's gonna take the shot,
and he's gonna miss every single time.
And it's gonna be like, you know what you gotta do. You know what you gotta do. All you gotta do, just you gotta do it.
Over the wall, you know what to do. This is for mi equipa. Alonso, who do you got?
This one I have France. And I think the reason why is I think the group stage, the opponents that France went against maybe were a little bit tougher than those of Portugal.
Yeah.
They had to play against Belgium. They had to play against Netherlands. Portugal, they lost against Georgia 2-0. I mean, I do love that they won in this kind of way in penalty kicks, but they went into it 0-0. You know,
Slovenia.
so they're struggling scoring goals.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a heck of a game. One of the best games to watch. I think Mbappe will get the best out of the defense and hopefully score. I'm going with France.
I agree. I was going to mention the same thing.
Vive la France!
That Portugal, I mean, yeah, they tied against Slovenia, you know? So it's kind of like, it's interesting, you know? Mm-hmm. They are struggling to score a little bit, but man, when you watch the game, they control the game, you know? Mm-hmm. That's going to be such a fun game. But Alonso goes with France. Saturday. Oh, England against Switzerland. Right off the bat, I have Switzerland winning this game.
Dude, I'm going for Switzerland too. I'm gonna be cheering for Switzerland so freaking hard. I don't even care.
Switzerland.
Oh man, to all our English fans, I got Switzerland winning this game. And again, to all our English fans, happy 4th of July tomorrow. Have fun at work. Have fun at work tomorrow.
Man, we're gonna lose a couple of sponsors here, man.
I think Diego has a friend that watches this, and he's from England. Sorry, friend, but I got Switzerland because they look better than England. England has had a terrible tournament. They've made it this far to the quarterfinal, and I think this is where their journey ends.
Sorry. I feel like England is just crawling their way.
Yeah.
But they're crawling. right? They're crawling their way through.
Yeah.
We have that little, sleeper pick challenge between me and Antonio because everyone else doesn't
No one
know
else
how to
wanted to
use
do
the.
it.
Nobody else wants to answer the phone. But I had Slovenia. I picked Slovenia to beat England. And throughout the whole, and then right before kickoff, before it closes, I kept looking at England's squad. I'm like, they just can't, right? They can't. And I changed it. And then throughout that whole game, I'm going and talking to Heather, right? My wife. And I'm like,
dude.
Heather, I freaking blew it. I picked England and I changed it at the end. And then as soon as Jude Bellingham goes and equalizes, I was like, oh, okay. And then we got the pick. But dude, I think Switzerland's gonna pull off an upset here. I think every time I look at England's squad, I just think, man, they gotta win, right?
You can't look at the team because that's what you think. You're like, they have to win this game.
Right. But man, I'm gonna pick Switzerland to go and pull off the upset, and England will go home
Empty-handed.
again.
So we got our predictions. Did Alonso and Coach Omero did you guys already made your predictions? Who's gonna win this game?
I go with Suiza too. Yeah.
Dude, that's crazy. Alonso, dude.
Make it 4-4.
I
4-4
don't
for
really like
winners.
Suiza. Chile played with Suiza in the World Cup, and they had a really tight defensive team. It was really hard to break that and trying to score a goal there. And even though Chile was playing a lot better than Suiza, Switzerland, and but yeah, that's the player there that I have in fantasy football for a while. What's his name?
Shaqiri.
Shaqiri. He's got a golazo anyway. He's got a golazo in the stage, the group stage.
That's the little guy, man.
That's the little guy.
Little unstucky.
Little stucky there. Alonso in a previous episode, he said the same thing. Like, I don't really like Switzerland because Chile played against them in the World Cup.
Oh, you did that?
I remember when they played Chile.
Thing.
Yeah.
Alonso, it was such a hard game.
4-0, Alonso, or are you gonna give the English a chance?
One quick note about England. I have somewhat of an injury report, but also
trying to think who
players who are missing the next game because of the accumulation of yellow cards. England has one. It's their center back defender, Mark Guihi. 7 out of 10. He got a yellow card in the first couple of minutes against Slovakia, so he's gonna miss the game against Switzerland, and they're gonna miss him. I think Switzerland's gonna beat them. Just because they deserve it. Happy 4th of July, America!
Yes.
Have fun
USA.
Your beans tomorrow. All righty.
So we'll give it the win to the Red Cross, man.
We're giving it to the Red Cross tomorrow.
The White Cross.
Red. No, sorry, Saturday. As for Saturday. All right. Tomorrow's 4th of July. Sorry, English fans out there, but you're not making it any farther than Switzerland. Netherlands against Turkey. I have Netherlands because they look good. They're looking great. Great win by Turkey against Austria, but Netherlands look very, very good right now. Van Dijk is a monster. He is enormous, dude. He's so big. It's insane. Netherlands.
No, then you can ask the Argentina guy how big it is.
Oh, I love that clip, man.
Sometimes I rewatch that game.
that game is so fun. That game was so fun, man. Okay. Me and Omero say Netherlands. Alonso, who do you got?
Team Orange. I'm going with Netherlands.
Oh, dude, what am I doing here, man?
There you go. That's what I'm talking about.
I took it out just for this.
Now you look like Netherlands. Yep.
Dad, who do you got?
Holanda, Países Bajos.
Robin still play? No. Alrighty.
Bombastic.
Now,
they've always been such a good team,
Oh yeah.
There's any kind of notable injuries going into the quarterfinal?
Trying to Oh yeah, that's Alonso's job. I don't even have to think about that. Alonso,
Yeah, I didn't think much about it either.
we decided to do this podcast like an hour ago, so
I
bear
got
We're
with
doing
us.
this for
my
you
friend
fans.
Mark from England.
We're
You know,
doing
there may
this
be
for
others.
you.
There's definitely a lot more with Copa America, man. They play really dirty there, so we'll get to that in a minute.
Dude, the one thing, just one quick note, is that Kieran Trippier for England
Oh,
is like
yes.
possibly out. And he's been playing as a left back, and he's really a right back, and they don't have any other left back unless they go and put Bukayo Saka back there, which they did this last game
Yeah. Oh,
for a
that's
time.
right. dude.
So, like I said, I'm gonna be cheering for Switzerland for that game, unless Jude Bellingham goes and scores another bike to go and freaking get the game winner or something. But I don't know.
That's what it took, man. It took Jude Bellingham to score a golazo for them to win that game. And then Harry Kane doing what Harry Kane does, scores goal. He's there. Perfect poacher. Anyway, we already talked enough about
Well,
England.
hold on. In an interview with Jude Bellingham, he talked about that bicycle kick, and he says he thought of Cristiano Ronaldo, you know, with the famous
Oh,
one in Champions League. And then he's
against
like, but then
Juventus.
I rewatched it and my hand was on the floor, you know, I was a lot lower.
It was.
And Cristiano was like 10 feet in the air. He's like, mine was a less acrobatic, but he said that was deep. I think he said that's the most important moment of his career so far.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah,
man.
for sure.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. In a
Sure.
game that you're about to be knocked out. Good for him. I love Jude
I
Bellingham.
loved watching the fans that were leaving the stadium and they couldn't go back in.
I thought the
After they
same
heard the
thing. I
Dude,
thought
that
the
was so
same thing.
funny.
I was
saw
like,
so
dude,
many
think
videos
about
of that.
all the fans that left. You know, they
They
left
left.
all
There was a
angry,
lot of
like I'm
people.
gonna go home and stab someone because we have a lot of stabbings here in England. So okay. Alrighty. I think we've talked enough about Euros. Let's talk
Go back home, mate.
Copa America. Da, 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 da,
Da,
da,
na, na,
da,
na,
da.
na, 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 na,
There we go. Look at that. Copa America.
Yeah,
Wait,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
putting it over your
Backwards.
face. How do you do
Put it
that?
on his face.
What the?
All
I
right.
love how
Put it on his
dirty that
face on
Copa
the
America is.
Let's talk Copa America. Do we want to go through all the scores like we did?
I can do that. I can do that real quick.
Look at
And
that
then
picture.
Get it to up to the point where we need to stop, right?
Yeah, real quick. Let's listen to the scores and then
So,
we'll talk.
yeah, I guess last time we left off, we were in the middle of recording when it was USA against Bolivia.
We'll do it
So
live.
they won 2-0. Uruguay played later that night, and they beat Panama 3-1. Then on Monday, June 24th, Colombia versus Paraguay. Colombia gets the win 2-1. Brazil ties
Papa.
Costa Rica 0-0.
Joga
Boo.
bonito.
Boy, did they play poorly. But
Ooh.
anyways,
Joga bonito.
They need Neymar back on the field.
Tuesday, June 25th, Peru versus Canada. Peru goes and gets himself a red card early into the game, and Canada barely gets a win with a counterattack near the end of the game to win 1-0 over Peru. And Chile versus Argentina, and they played with 11 men in this game, but they just could not hold on. Lionel Scaloni wanted to go and get the game, send in Lautaro Martinez, and he gets
Di
a
Maria.
goal at the 88th minute.
And Di Maria.
Chile
Yeah.
were hanging on to dear life throughout the whole game. But it's Argentina. They were really strong, and it was expected. I was hoping for a draw. Everyone was thinking it was going to end up in a tie, but unfortunately, Lautaro is on fire in this tournament.
Yeah, he is.
Coming in as a super sub, and he goes and scores a goal at the 88th minute.
That other Argentino was definitely offsides, but let's continue.
Wednesday,
and Paul need
June 26th.
deserve a red card too. But anyway,
And Paul deserved the red card. A lot of manos. Anyway,
we'll get
continue.
to the state of refereeing in this whole
the guy they
tournament.
We
want
need to talk about the referees. Yes.
they want Isla shoes. You know, this other Argentina player.
Did you see
Sponsored
the
by
ad?
Nike.
The ad is
Oh,
really
no, sorry,
good.
sorry. Not for this.
As a Nike commercial.
The Nike ad is really good.
Everyone wants a pair.
Everyone- That's a good one. Anywho, quickly
Argentina.
now. Next, Wednesday, June 26th, Ecuador against Jamaica. They did the job. Ecuador 3-1 against Jamaica. And Venezuela against Mexico. Venezuela getting the win 1-0. I actually saw Mexico playing a little bit better, but Venezuela did the job. Thursday,
Venezuela. They're
June
killing it.
27th, Panama versus USA. USA gets a red card by Timothy Weon, getting himself a red card early. But even with 10 men, they go and score a goal, but they couldn't get it. That didn't last. I guess it lasted 5 minutes.
Qué
They tied it up, and
vergüenza.
Panama goes and gets the win over USA 2-1.
Unbelievable.
Qué vergüenza, man.
What
Sounds a lot like the Chile.
Disappointment and disappointment.
what a disappointing result for the Americans. Very disappointed in Timothy Weah because he just blew
Played
it.
like
He
a
blew it for
whale.
the team.
Play
Really
class.
good.
He played
Later
like
on-
his last night.
Yeah, later on, Uruguay played against Bolivia. They annihilated them
Destroy
5-0.
him, man.
5-0.
5-0. It should have been probably like minimum of 8-0, but it was 5. It was just an annihilation. Friday, June 28th, Colombia versus Costa Rica. Colombia coming in strong. Still playing
Papa.
super well. They beat Costa Rica 3-0. James Rodriguez. Oh my gosh, we'll get there.
Yeah, we will.
Paraguay against Brazil. Brazil, Vinny Jr. goes and shines. They win 4-1 over Paraguay. Still not very, very impressed with Brazil. Lucas Paqueta goes and misses a penalty, gets a second chance, and then scores a penalty. Una chinga la Paqueta. And they were dancing all night there. And then Saturday was the closing out of the groups. Argentina goes and beats Brazil. Sorry, Argentina
No.
beats Peru
Peru.
2-0. Goals from
2-0.
Lautaro
Mhm.
Martino.
Didn't watch that game
Yes. We didn't watch that game. Why?
because we were busy losing our voices in the next game. Canada
we-
against Chile.
We were. I guess we can insert the clips now.
Here's a couple clips.
Contra Venezuela.
Contra Venezuela.
Oye, esta va a estar buena y vamos a hacer visita de nuevo.
Empanada contra las arepas y vamos a ganar.
Eso ya. Hay harto optimismo.
Porococó.
Couple of clips. We all went to the game. Dude, that stadium was full of Chilenos, man.
I loved it.
Full
I
of
loved it.
Chilenos.
Sponsored
much
by
Vomit painting. That
He's over here to me. But
Vomit painting. All three of
Um,
us here.
unfortunately, the referee
Oh
has
my.
something against Chile. Again, this has been pretty much
That's
the
Colombiano too, man.
the standard, I guess, of refereeing in the Copa America. Is just absolutely
Embarrassing.
trash.
Oh my gosh. We'll talk
I
about
mean-
that in a second.
But Canada versus Chile, they tied 0-0. And that
Chile
puts
with 10.
Argentina and Canada on to the next round. Sunday, July 1st, Mexico versus Ecuador. They tied 0-0. Mexico needed that a result from them to go in advance, and they could not. Venezuela beat Jamaica 3-0. They did the job. Jamaica ended up with
So they end up first place in that group.
So
Yeah.
Venezuela end up first place with Ecuador going through as second. Mexico is out. No se pudo.
No se pudo. Jamaica, thanks for coming.
Jamaica was just participation trophy.
Thanks for coming, Jamaica.
Monday, July 2nd, Bolivia was playing against Panama and USA playing against Uruguay. This was, oh my gosh, we'll get there. Bolivia lost to Panama Panama beat Bolivia 3-1.
Yeah.
USA lost against Uruguay. Uruguay gets a goal at, they lost 1-0, meaning Uruguay goes through first place, perfect record. Panama goes through with USA being the first host nation in the Copa America to not advance to the next round. We'll talk more on that later.
Qué vergüenza.
And then on Tuesday, last night.
Last
Yeah,
night.
last night, Tuesday, July 3rd. Brazil against Colombia in such an exciting freaking match. They tied
Partidazo.
1-1. Again, our arbitro de
Oh my
Mer-
gosh, man.
lots of horrible missed calls there. And then Costa Rica getting the win.
Jesus
versus
Valenzuela, right?
Paraguay.
Yeah, he's
So this-
He's Venezolano.
Venezolano.
Yep.
Yeah.
Then so Colombia and Brazil go through. Colombia is the top of the group.
Papa.
Brazil in seconds. And that
Okay.
concludes our scores.
Okay. Let's talk
What are we talking
real
about?
quick. There's only a few games for here. They're right into the quarterfinals. Less teams. Tomorrow, 9 p.m. our time. Argentina against Ecuador. I have
Papa.
Argentina, unfortunately. I hate Argentina, but I have them winning this game. We're gonna just go through the real quick our predictions for these, and then we're gonna talk about Chile, and then we're gonna talk about the U.S. That's the game plan here, guys. I've had Argentina winning this game against Ecuador. Coach Homero A, who do you have?
Yeah, Argentina goes through. Ecuador, for some, I feel like they should have been playing a little bit better.
I agree.
They do have their captain back, right, on this last back, Ener Valencia.
Yeah.
But I think Argentina is just too strong for them. They're gonna go through to the semifinals.
Yeah, I agree. Alonso, what do you got winning this game?
Ojo, Messi may
Right, yeah.
miss this game against Ecuador. He missed
Really?
the game against Peru, and Scaloni says it's a game time decision if he's gonna play this against Ecuador.
I think it's his groin, right?
He was massaging it, in the game against who was
Chile.
it?
It was against Chile.
Chile.
He came out for a couple
Yeah.
minutes too, and they kept massaging it.
But it's okay. They have Lautaro, who's been killing it. I think Argentina goes through. They will beat
Yeah.
Ecuador.
Patron, Argentina or Ecuador?
Ecuador.
Ecuador. You can't help it, man.
So much hate.
You can't help it.
Any team. If Argentina beat Ecuador, then whoever plays next is the other team.
That goes out to all the Argentina fans.
This cup is fixed, man. This cup is fixed,
Oh,
and
yeah.
we can
We'll-
talk about that. But anyway,
We're gonna talk about it.
What are they calling it? They're calling it Argent
Argent
FIFA.
FIFA. Argent FIFA.
Argent
And I
FIFA.
agree.
Argent FIFA gate.
Next game.
Venezuela against Canada. Man, Canada,
Venezuela.
sorry,
Pinotito,
but Canada, all my Canadians, your team sucks.
Sucks!
Oh, dude. That team, I don't know. How did they get to the quarterfinals is beyond me. But I
Canada
guess
FIFA.
when you play back-to-back games against a team with 10 men, that's how you get there. But I
Oh,
love that there's at
gosh.
least one American in the quarterfinals, and that is Canada's head coach, Jesse
Yes,
Marsh,
right.
There you go.
Yeah. there
who
you go.
had some words to say during his interview process for the U.S. men's national team job. But, dude, Venezuela, Canada is going to be, again, holding on to their lives throughout the whole game and just
Mhm.
hoping for
Looking for a red
counterattack,
card.
'cause
Oh my
those
gosh. What
guys-
if they
Oh,
make
no,
it to the
oh.
semifinals? Oh my god.
imagine Venezuela gets a red card.
Now, I want to be clear here. We tied with Canada. Chile sucks too, but Canada sucks, man. Sucks. I can't believe how much they
We're gonna
suck,
lose head
man.
coach. We're gonna lose head coach over here, man, with that Chile sucks nonsense.
I think they played better with Chile, but the game before that, I watched that game and I couldn't believe those guys, man. The way it was awful.
I remember
It
your
was
text
awful.
message.
Hey, but Canada's there.
They're there.
Canada's there.
They're there.
They
they're-
made it.
they're
They're
because-
there
Yeah.
without
Red
the
cards.
winger because he broke his leg yesterday in practice.
Yeah, I
Tejon
saw that.
Buchanan.
No,
Yeah,
I did
He
not know
broke
that.
his leg
Oh,
just
you know?
yesterday in practice.
No way.
Is it a
His
broken
tournament
leg or are you
is
exaggerating?
over. I mean, it's already
No.
over because they're gonna lose, but it's definitely over for him.
Dude, he was a
For-
super
for-
sub because when he came on for Venezuela, I think it was Isla.
No,
or-
for Chile against Chile.
Against
Yeah,
Chile,
you're
against
right.
Chile.
Yeah,
He was so fast.
it was on the left side, I think. So it was
Left side.
No. He was on the right
can't
side.
He was on the.
was on
he
the right
was
side.
on the
Yeah, yeah,
right
yeah, yeah.
side.
it
Our
was
left, right side.
It was
Exactly.
Isla then. Well,
No.
either or.
It was
He
the other
smoked
guy.
them.
This guy had a
Smoked him.
10-yard head start, and Buchanan just
Gosh.
freaking like he turned on the Jets,
Yeah.
got the ball, and I think that's what almost led to a goal. They got a
He
corner.
ran a little too fast in practice, broke his leg.
Dude, that sucks for Canada. That kid is so
sucks.
good.
It sucks because Canada sucks. Let's move on.
We're sorry,
Venezuela
Canada
winning that
fans
game.
left and right.
The
man.
referee of the Commonwealth, they suck. That's why.
Oh
That's the
my
only
gosh,
Dude.
man.
All right, we'll get there.
We'll
The
get
VAR
there. I'm
Okay.
like holding
sucks,
it in.
too.
I got
Next
Venezuela
game.
winning that game. Continue, please.
Venezuela.
Venezuela goes third. for
Put it
sure.
on the
Venezuela.
board.
Venezuela looks
Yeah,
good. They
Venezuela.
look good right now.
Venezuela.
They look very
They're,
good.
they're in good shape. Next game, Colombia versus Panama.
Oh,
Guantanamera.
Yeah, papa.
We have
Colombia is on
Panama
top
in the
of one now.
quarterfinals, ladies and gentlemen.
Dude, Colombia, dude,
They're gonna
Colombia's-
destroy them.
Colombia looks so
Colombia's
good.
gonna tear them apart. James Rodriguez is playing the game, the tournament. Every time he puts in the yellow jersey,
He's so
James-
good.
James is like back to
Vintage.
2014 James.
Against
I know.
Brazil,
That's
he almost scored a free kick golazo, man. Hit the crossbar, and went out. And he just looked at everyone like he knew. He's like, oh, that was close. James. Oh, I love James.
He also, you know what? I don't think he ages, man. He looks exactly the same he did like 12 years
Yeah.
ago.
He does, man.
But that was the way he plays for Colombia. That's the way he was criticized by Madrid for the other club because he never played with like that when he plays for Colombia. That guy was just, you can see it playing in the midfield in the wing. He tends to go more on the wing, but also he was playing defense too.
Yes.
It was on a corner kicking the ball that way. It's just like everywhere. So he put so much heart in the game, but not in the clubs, not in the team clubs.
No.
So
There's a lot of
but
players like
it's-
that. There's a lot of players like
Yeah.
that and there's a lot of players that are the other way. They're so good in club and then they
Like the little
can't
guy.
perform for the country. You
he
know,
can't, yeah.
For a while, like the
Yeah.
little guy.
and like you guys said, when James puts on the yellow jersey, man, he's so good. It doesn't matter how old he is, he's so good. It's 2014 James
Every-
all over again, man.
Every corner kick belongs to him. Every free kick belongs to
Every
him.
free kick.
And he plays the corner kick right in the penalty kick and the penalty point.
Yeah.
Just that every single ball, man. And
And
the
the
free kicks is just always a chance for Colombia. And then they scored so many goals like that too so far.
The Colombianos have been winning like all the headers too. There was a couple that even they just went over the bar. James also had a free kick that he tried to catch Allison off guard.
Oh, he did.
Yeah.
Allison
Yeah.
had to like do a last minute
Yeah. Good save by Allison.
Dude,
Yeah.
Colombia still have not lost a match.
No,
Still.
26.
24 games?
26, I think now.
26 now.
26.
26
That's
games?
ridiculous.
It's a
And you know
couple
what?
years.
Against Brazil, Colombia looked better. It's been a while
Oh, yeah.
since I've seen Brazil in trouble almost the whole game like that. Usually in these games, especially in the Copa, you see Brazil controlling most of the game and, barely coming out to win or tying, like when they tied against Costa Rica, for example. But with this game with Colombia had them in trouble so many times, man. So many times.
Mhm.
Colombia looks great. They look great. And this is a perfect scenario for them because they're playing against Panama. When on the other
Oh
side,
yeah.
Brazil
Colombia's
has to
been a
play
nice
against
midfielder. Jefferson Lerma, he's out because of yellow card trouble. He's not
Yes.
going to
Oh,
be
yeah,
playing against Panama.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's going to make much of a difference.
No.
No.
They have a good squad depth, I think. And it's Panama. I know Panama just barely got through.
Barely, yeah.
Nope. Nobody had Panama going through. Nobody
nobody.
had Canada going through from the CONCACAF. But
I think we
Yeah.
all had Panama last in the group.
Yeah. we did. They ended up second.
Perfect case scenario for Colombia to go against Panama
Colombia.
because Brazil, they have to play Uruguay now. And
Oof.
Brazil, I don't think they have Vinny Jr. for this game, right?
Nope.
No, because he got a double
You got a yellow card.
yellow card.
He got a yellow
suspension,
card in the first 7 minutes of the game
yeah? Oh,
against
man,
James
he's good,
Rodriguez. A foul against James Rodriguez. So he's out the next game. Big trouble for Brazil.
Dude, Uruguay gets the
Uruguay
win
wins the
here.
game.
I think Uruguay wins.
Uruguay wins. Dude, they
Oh,
look
yeah.
I mean, when they played against the US, right? they were on to the next round anyways, right?
Yeah.
But every time they got the ball, it was like it was a chance for them for a goal. And the way that they just kind of control without having the ball, because they gave the US possession and they were just holding. They were holding and holding and holding, and then they would get and they would break. Nunez, like, he is so deceptively fast. Right?
Nunez, yes.
He's tall, he's kind of thin, right? But he just takes off, right? And his movement just creates so many problems for whoever plays in the back line. Brazil without Vinny Jr. loses the game.
I think so too.
For sure.
Rafinha, that was the change they made. They brought in Rafinha in this last game. He had a
That was
good
a golazo.
game.
Golazo,
It was a
man.
golazo.
Wow, what a freaking golazo he scored.
Golazo with the free kick for sure. Rafinha, I think in general, had a great game. He's obviously going to be playing now. They're going to need him. But I agree, Uruguay is going to win, especially if Brazil without their superstar and Vinny Jr. is not looking good for los brasileros.
Nope.
You guys
Nope,
have
nope.
Uruguay too? Rest of the podcast here? Uruguay?
You're looking for the.
He's like, I'm out of here.
He's looking for Brazil
You looking for
because
Brazil?
they haven't showed up yet.
Oh, sorry, you asked me something?
Uruguay or Brazil in this game? Who do you got? I think you said Uruguay.
Oh, I think he hates Uruguay too, but he hates Brazilian.
He hates
them
everybody.
both.
He hates everybody
Those
in
guys
South
are
America.
cocky, man. Those Brazilians are cocky, man.
Oh, yeah.
Worse
they
than
are.
Argentina. Worse.
There is a
Um,
chance that FIFA will let them go through. You know how it is, man. You know how it
I
is.
know how it is. Yeah. No, Uruguay is looking better. Definitely. Yeah. I'll go with Uruguay, even though they hate me because of comment they made, but whatever.
I think you're going to
Uruguay,
Uruguay because you
Brazil,
like
Argentina.
Bielsa. So there you go. There's Uruguay.
Yeah.
I like el loco Bielsa. Okay.
Do you know that thing they ask you for McDonald's? Have you seen that?
I saw that. He was so confused.
Yes,
Like, who's
somebody. He was confused. Like, hey, I saw that you really like McDonald's, And he was like,
What
so
a stupid
confused.
question, too.
McDonald's. Yeah,
Stupid
McDonald's is like, I don't know any player in McDonald's. Like, and they all started laughing. And he's like, no, the fast food, and like McDonald's, like, oh no. He said no. But he was lost. I was like, who's McDonald's?
Yeah, what a
Totally
stupid
lost.
question, man.
It was a stupid question, I know. I love that guy anyway, man.
Yeah.
I saw some clips and he's training now before the game, and he is so intense, man. He's yelling at Echeverry and was Nunez, Edwin, right?
Darwin.
He's buena. He's like yelling at them, like so super into them. So I really like his style,
Yeah.
and you can see you can see his touch in this team. So I'll go for Uruguay, man. Uruguay.
This is what happens when you give a team like Uruguay with these kind of players. You give them a manager like Bielsa. This is what happens, man. He knows how to use those guys exactly how they need to be. And there's no superstar on that team. Nunez is a beast for sure, but there's no like big superstar on that team. But man, do they play so well.
Luis Suarez.
Hold on, you reminded me of like a funny thing that's happening in this tournament. Are the head coaches being suspended for the next game?
Yeah,
I saw something that it's only been Argentinian coaches, Scaloni, Gareca, Bielsa,
yeah.
because they're
coach
too
from
late to
Colombia,
return
too.
from the second half.
Yeah.
So they've been missing the game. Hopefully, they don't keep doing that and they can make it to the games these next.
Hopefully they learned the lesson.
They
Very weird that
they find the coaches, but I heard another coach saying it's the players. The players take forever to come out, and it's not the coach's fault. So it's a suspension and $15,000.
It's a
pretty penny.
I don't know who it could be in certain teams. I know they use it a lot as a tactic to come out like last minute kind of thing, to get in the other team's head a little bit. but you know, they weren't messing around. They're like, okay, then you're missing the next game. Gareca wasn't there for the game with Chile and when they needed to beat Canada. Let's talk a little bit about Chile here. I have on my notes brief recap of the fracaso de Chile en la Copa.
Dude, 3 goals. Sorry, 3 games. In 3
Zero.
games, they scored
Zero.
Papa.
Zero goals.
0.
As you guys all know, we went to the game. We had such a fun time. What a
Do we add another clip? Add another clip?
Here's me. That was me screaming.
We
my
were
head
on
off
national TV, Canal 13.
We did make it on TV.
Oh, yeah.
Very fun experience.
National TV.
I have never in my life come even close to experiencing something so intense of a game like that. In a stadium full of Chilenos. It was a lot of fun. It was so much fun. And once again, thank you, Patron, for taking us. What a great Father's Day gift. It was an experience that I'm never going to forget in my life. It was very fun to see that side of not only Chilean football, but South American football that not a lot of people are used to. And man, was it crazy because we saw security guards getting into fights and people jumping onto the field in the field at the last minutes.
Fireworks being thrown.
Fireworks being thrown. You guys will see all these clips. Fireworks and chants from the very beginning. Very, very fun game.
All day.
That being said, what a disappointment from Chile. And what a disappointment from the referee, too. Oh, my God.
Dude, what are you going to do with 10 men for like an hour? Right? Yeah. So one of the biggest things, and we know we experienced this like firsthand, is that they don't replay anything at the stadium.
No,
they don't replay a single thing. The only thing they go and replay is maybe like a shot, right? But anything else, they just put up like the Copa America symbol. So we had no idea that. We didn't know until later when we came back home to watch the game, where the referee missed the elbow. The second yellow was not. It didn't even look like it was warranted a second yellow. And there was just so many things that the ref just got completely wrong. And then just from the 20th minute, I think, he gets a red card, Suazo, right, who was playing a heck of a tournament. And
tournament, yeah.
Chile has to go and play in a must-win game with 10 men. It was just zero goals. And every time I watch the Euros, I'm like, dang, it must be so nice to go and celebrate a goal. I'm looking at these fans, you know.
After that red card, it was a completely different game. It was a completely different game. Before that, we had great chances. This guy Davila had 2 great chances. I didn't like, you know, we talked a little bit about it a couple days ago, but I didn't like how much Vargas was getting onto him. I do think that the chances he was taking, those were great chances. You know, you're trying to get the goal, especially the first goal for them in the Copa, after the stupid second yellow card for Suazo. It changed the game completely, and it was very unfortunate. And this is why, unfortunately, sorry, Canada sucks, because they couldn't even get the goal, you know, and they played about an hour with an advantage of 11 over 10 men.
They were running the clock. They were running the clock since the first minute. I mean, that was the other thing that really bothers me.
There's a great clip of Ben Brereton picking up a guy by his shirt and lifting him up. I love that video.
I love it. Well, what else are you going to do for Canada? You're going to just burn all the time in the world. All you needed was a tie. They did what they needed, but and it was just so. But how can you?
We having what the Chilean team is having the same problem that's having for a while, which we don't have. We're not scoring.
Right.
We're not creating much opportunities of goal too. They have a great defense. I think the defense is pretty much set. I think Arias had a decent game, even though it still make me nervous, you know. But he plays a lot with their feet in that game. and he was good. He was doing okay. I still like more Bravo on the goal, but Arias, I think he did the job and he did good. I mean,
Yeah.
he saved a goal opportunity for Canada. It was a breakaway.
Mhm.
He came out and he got so big that Canadian guy he couldn't score on him.
Great play.
So he did good. The whole defense, I think, was okay. The subs for Osorio, I would keep Osorio there. He couldn't have more.
He was
But,
subbed out right away.
Yeah.
But yeah,
They
that's
took him out.
we in official games we haven't scored a goal in a while. Friendly games, I wouldn't count those, but in official games like a World Cup qualification, and now in this tournament, they have in 3 games they didn't score a single goal.
Single goal.
Now chances also they didn't create too many chances.
Right. Right.
So
It's not scoring against Argentina is obvious. That's fine. But
It's
against
expected.
Peru, they should have beat Peru.
yeah.
And then against Canada here, the red card made it absolutely so difficult. It is very unfortunate they didn't score a single goal. I do agree that taking out Osorio, I didn't like that. Osorio, I wasn't familiar with your game. I think Osorio is going to be great in the coming years. We talked a little bit about it, about how with my dad and with Omero that it's very hard for such a young player like Osorio to gain confidence in a team full of I'm not gonna say has-beens. I don't want to be that rough, but a golden generation on their way out. This thing with Arias and Bravo. Arias played a great game. I prefer Bravo, but I also think it's time to move on from Bravo, from all these guys that are just too old. Now, Isla, I will say, had a fantastic game against Canada, especially on the same side as Alfonso Davies. Heck of a player, he had a great game. But it's time to move on from these players. And to give guys like Osorio a chance. I really like how Osorio plays. Again, it's hard to gain confidence in a team like that when you have people like Vargas who are very, very loud and they demand, respect and for these players to listen to him. Like when he got into that little bit of an argument with Davila, it's hard to gain confidence in a team like that. It's going to give him time, but I like Osorio a lot. Hopefully he gets more playing time. Taking him out wasn't the greatest decision in my opinion, but at the same time, Gareca wasn't even there. So there's somebody else having to make those decisions.
Now, Vargas, he's a good player.
Yes.
But he's the player that you need to send him the ball. You need to place a ball for him.
Right.
If we don't have a 10 to do that, because we don't have one.
No.
He's never gonna have chances to score. So the 2 times that he scored in the friendly game, there were somebody assisting him, but we don't have that. So that's a problem that we still haven't been able to find the right person to play that. Alexis wanted to be a 10. He's like Vargas. He need to be on top, but
yeah,
Alexis just like you just need to move on too. You just need to move on. We need to see what do we have. So far, the teams that qualify for the quarterfinals are the teams that are in the top for the CONMEBOL qualifiers.
Right.
So who went out? Bolivia, it's last. Then Peru, then Chile, and then Paraguay.
You're right.
We're all out. And if you look at that, for positions in the CONMEBOL,
they're on the bottom.
We're all on the bottom. So tough because Chile have to the next game coming back in September for the World Cup qualification. Guess who's playing the first game? Argentina. Away.
Nice.
Away.
Yeah.
I like Diego Valdez. I like him as a player too. Unfortunately, he got hurt. I'm trying to think of the future for Chile now.
Diego Valdez is like in his 30s.
I know. Yeah, it's just.
I'm looking at some of the players and I'm like thinking like who are the ones that stand out. Echeverria played really well.
Yeah.
But he's 30. He's 30 years old.
Jeez.
Right. You know, what's his name? Who else?
This kid that played defense got a weird last name. I forgot.
Lichnowsky.
Lichnowsky.
He
He
played
took-
really well. He's
he
30
took-
years old.
He's 30 years old.
30?
He's 30 years old.
The younger players are Davila, Brereton, Suazo,
Nunez.
Osorio. Osorio is really young.
Osorio.
Brereton and Davila, they're like in their mid-20s, 25, 26 years old.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's gonna give them more time, more chances to play, develop, so that they can, for the World Cup, for the qualifiers, for the next World Cup, they can have better quality minutes, so they can contribute better.
They need power.
Everyone else, they're pretty old. I mean, they're all, younger than me.
They're all in their 30s and up,
Younger than
I think.
What about this guy, Catalan and de Bigote?
He's in his
How old is
30s,
he?
I think, too.
That too.
Pulgar,
Well,
30 years old,
The 30s are the new 20s, man.
30, 31.
That's a good point.
What about this guy that got hurt in the game against Paraguay, the friendly before? Something with an L. What was this guy's name, man?
Oh, yeah, Loyola.
Loyola. Loyola is the other one.
Yeah.
That he got hurt right
He
before the
couldn't.
game, and that was it.
I think Gareca is. I think they're going to be leading in the right direction with Gareca.
Yeah.
Again,
so too.
it's unfortunate with that in a must-win game. This arbitro ruined the game. Just missed a lot of calls there in that game. But I think Gareca's taken this team in the right direction. I think he's still gonna count on Vargas. I think he's still gonna count on Alexis. There's some. I think the defense is pretty good. The defense had a good tournament. Even with Catalan in the bench, even with Paulo Diaz in the bench as well. I think it's pretty decent. We won't have like a true number 9, but I'm with Alonso. I think we need to go and give minutes to these guys, even in these huge CONMEBOL qualifiers. They need to get some minutes because that's also like a pressure situation that they need to go and get used to. And Ben Brereton needs to play more, man. He needs to play. He makes the difference when he gets in, but every time he gets in, it's like the No Sabo kid goes in for like 15 minutes, and I'm like, dude, this guy makes a difference.
He does.
Let's get him in a little bit earlier.
I think we can appreciate, though, that I think the golden generation really was a golden generation.
Oh, yeah.
Alexis Sanchez, Vargas, Medel, Aranguis, they're all the same age, 36, 37 years old, all at the same time. Think about it. They're in their 28, 29 years old, playing the best they can play in their whole life, and that's why they won Copa America again.
Yeah. Well, that's funny because you guys grew up with that generation. You guys grew up with that generation, but that whole team, you mentioned Isla, El Pato Diaz, Marcelo Diaz. He was a heck of a player too. El Chueco Mena, that was like a left wing too. Boselló.
We haven't even mentioned Vidal.
Mago Valdivia.
We haven't even mentioned Vidal.
Yeah, Matias Fernandez, in his prime too, was on the team. So there were so many good players there. But I grew up with a team that was losing every single game, man. The team
we're back at it again.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
That's pretty much, man. It was just everything. It was the same thing. The referees, and bad calls that determined the game. Going to a World Cup, 1982, man, with a heck of a team, man. We thought we would have a heck of a team. We lost every single game in the first stage. We got kicked out. Yeah. So not only when Bielsa took and Sampaoli took the team, in that order, Bielsa, Sampaoli, But now, they're old now. They need to restart again. Find new people. And Peru is doing the same thing. It's just Argentina always had a really good scouting thing that they have new players all the time, and it's always been a powerful team, same as Brazil, and
Oh yeah.
now we like in USA here, they have all the resources, they can have a heck of a team, man, and they got eliminated, and it's disappointing because we have all the resources here to have a great team, and just we can't do it.
That's a good segue into USA.
Yeah.
USA in a must-win game against Uruguay. I mean, going into a must-win game
Against Uruguay.
and
They played a good game.
did they play a good game?
I mean, they were
I don't
playing
think they
against
did bad
12.
for playing against Uruguay.
Hey, the goal from Uruguay, I don't think it was a goal.
No, it
I don't think
wasn't.
was a goal.
He was offsides.
I'm telling you,
yeah.
the referees and the VAR here in the Copa
The
America
worst.
It's
The
been
worst.
so
The
bad.
worst that I've
The worst.
seen ever.
In Europe, it's so precise, It's
I
so
love it.
like, oh my gosh.
I
And that's
love
the
it.
thing.
You
And,
see it
and
so
in
well.
here in the Copa America, the VAR draw the line, from
From
Saturn,
the
next
stadium.
door.
Saturn.
from Saturn, man. Oh
my
just
gosh.
unbelievable, man.
And one of the
It wasn't a
arguments,
goal. He was
right?
offsides.
one of the
Yeah.
arguments is like, oh, they're using the same system all across, and it's CONMEBOL. They don't have the sophisticated systems and blah blah blah. Dude, they're playing in USA.
Yeah.
They're
Exactly.
playing in
States of America.
NFL stadiums, dude. NFL
Ridiculous.
stadiums who invented VAR pretty much,
Yeah.
right?
And replays and
Invented-
stuff.
where you can go and see the guys like pupils, right, with their cameras.
The
And they
freaking
go
pupils.
and get the VAR a la chucha.
Saturn.
I know. It's
The-
just
the-
for Saturn, yeah.
Oh
Saturn.
my gosh! It's
When they showed
so-
the Chile and Argentina game, when they throw that line there, you can't even see anything. I mean,
That was so
no,
dumb.
he
So
was
dumb.
onside. He was onside. So we can't really blame the guy that is in the middle of in the center of the field, which is the referee.
Yes.
It's the VAR too. I mean, the VAR, the guys are there too.
No, it
That's
was
They
their own
suck.
job.
I mean, the whole thing is either they suck, they're blind, they corrupt. They're like, it's unbelievable, man. It's just unbelievable.
That's the name of this
Corrupt.
podcast, this episode. It all sucks, man. They all suck, man.
Yeah.
I love
it's-
how
yeah.
Pulisic went to the referees at the end of the game
He's like,
and
celebrate.
he told them to go celebrate with Uruguay.
Yeah.
He goes,
But I
he's like,
tell
go in
you,
the
I
middle,
tell
go
you,
celebrate. He's like, and I
the
want to
ref-
shake your hand. And they
the
wouldn't shake his
referee,
hand.
he needs to be a big man about it because he went to shake their hands. The lineman shaked his hand. And then this pinche freaking arbitro decides not to shake his hand. And I'm like, this is what I mean. I understand that what he was saying
Corrupt.
might have been disrespectful. He was saying,
Corrupt,
hey,
man.
go celebrate. But
Corrupt.
you know what? Just shake the guy's hand. I want to shake your hand. Man, that freaking arbitro. It was, and then
I
the
know.
yellow card thing, man. They got the foul and he's running over there. He goes to give him a yellow card and they play it quick, Uruguay. And what
And
does
he
this
waits
guy
play
do?
on.
He's like, oh, play on.
Play on, holding the yellow.
And thank goodness for Tim Ream that he saved that because that would have been a goal and that would have been mansa cagaita, patadas all over the place.
Oh yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
I love Tim Ream. I'll tell you
Heck of a
what.
save by him.
I love
He's-
Tim
Yeah,
Ream.
I like him too. I
And
like
it
him
could have
too.
been so much more controversial if they would have scored that goal. They were going to score that goal. But what a stupid call
Yeah,
by
man.
this ref, man.
Even the pigeons, man, they're flying around. They say, "Corrupt, corrupt, corrupt."
No, the referees in this Copa have been absolutely ridiculous. The VAR, you see the difference between watching the Euro games and then the Copa America game. It's like the VAR, they're all the way from there trying to figure out, okay, here's a guy's foot and the other line is here. They put the replay to everybody there and everyone's like, I don't know what the heck you're looking at. And then Omero said it earlier, you go to a game there, they don't even have the replays on the screen, on the Jumbotron. They don't even play the replays.
the second yellow card for Suazo. When he showed the second yellow card between the we're going back again between when he got a yellow card, right, and then when he got the red card, he wasn't thinking about it putting another yellow card from the moment he blew the whistle to call the foul. 36 of almost 40 seconds went before he showed him the second yellow card and then the red.
Ridiculous.
36 to 40 seconds it took him. So that was the bar saying, "Hey, that's a yellow card. That's a yellow card. Hey, he didn't go to the ball, like." And so the guy is getting all the information. Then he pulled out the yellow card. So that was the bar.
But then this guy gets elbowed in the face. Where's the VAR there? They're like, hey, we got a possible penalty kick here. Look at this. Look at this.
Yeah, but you know what? That's the other thing that this team is missing. Because it was a Vidal de Almedel, they wouldn't let the ball play.
Never know. You never know.
Well, yeah, but nobody complained anything about it.
They wouldn't have let the ball play. They would have complained and complained and
complained until the guy had to go and review the play. And that kind of Canadian would have been kicked out of the field. But
I've seen a lot of people say that.
Yeah. So
I've seen a lot of people say the same thing.
Where Alexis was and Vargas, they went to the referees like, hey,
Right.
Who was the
Maybe
captain
they
in
didn't
that
even
game?
see it either.
I don't know.
Who was the captain there?
Oh,
that was Alexis, right?
Alexis.
Alexis.
Yeah, but kind of going back to like the USA game.
USA game.
Like the goal from Uruguay, I really believe that should not have been a goal, right? But regardless, let's say that they don't get the goal, right? It ends up 0-0. Panama goes and beats who is it? Bolivia.
Bolivia.
3-1 and knocks out USA.
They're still knocked out.
Yeah.
So they were still knocked out.
Did
right?
you guys
and
see
it goes back? It definitely goes back, dude. Dude, that
Did you see that?
pissed me off.
I think he was talking about a play.
No,
I don't think he was telling the score.
No,
he wasn't.
because post match,
He talked about it.
I don't think he was telling the score.
Hey,
You got the audio? You got the audio?
Post match.
post-match
Here's the clip.
interview.
No.
Post match
kidding.
interview, right? The post match interview, they asked him about that, and he said, "Yes, I was telling them, updating them on the score."
What an idiot.
What? I mean,
Before a
first
set
off,
piece.
First off,
What a loser, man. What
Why?
a loser.
And
Why?
Canada sucks. All right.
this was no matter
VAR
what, this was
sucks,
a
man.
must-win game. It was a must-win game, regardless of what the result was. Right? You have to match the result from Bolivia and Panama, but it was a must-win. Now it's against arguably one of the favorite teams and a very powerful team, right?
But
That's
the
a
score was
whole different
0-0 still.
But you're focusing on the result of another game, all right?
And like
In
2
a game
minutes
where
later, they
when you have to
scored.
win, and then you're going and telling your team it's 1-1 in an attacking set piece. And what happens 10 seconds later?
goals.
They go and score.
Loser
Not a goal,
mentality.
but still, they scored, right?
Loser
Mentality.
mentality.
It shows that the mentality is not there.
No.
Right. Now, they kind of shot themselves in the foot because Tim Weah blew it, right? He blew it. He got a red card early. They lost against Panama in a game that they should have won.
Yes.
They could have gotten in with 6 points along with Uruguay, and then it's a battle of who ends up first, right? But in a tournament where you're hosting, you don't even get in. So the question is this really a golden generation of players?
That is the question. Because they talk about it as the golden generation, but is it? In
For
this last World
USA?
Cup, yes, they talk about it all the time for US that this is their golden generation. In the last World Cup, they had a good showing. They had a good showing there.
They did.
Yeah.
But this was terrible. They should have won against Panama. I understand. 10 players. Stupid mistake by Tim Weah. But once again, I'll go back to this guy. Even this guy showing the 1-1 to his players right before a huge opportunity set piece play shows the level and mentality that this guy, what's his name again, manager?
Greg Berhalter.
He doesn't have a winner's mentality. I don't like it at all.
So I guess this is a good opportunity to the people, though, USA Soccer Federation, when they listen to our podcast here, and we have a coach here, licensed, be licensed just recently. And my screen is right here.
Let me take my hat off.
And my screen is right here.
And my screen is right here.
Be licensed.
So there you go. Here's an opportunity here.
I like it. I like the little shout out there. Look, if anybody else out there is listening to us, the reason why we use such colorful language is because Chile is a big part of our hearts. US,
last month, Antonio.
big part of our hearts. We are very passionate about these two teams. So when we talk about, I don't even know what Alonso said. When we talk about these teams and we talk about how angry we are with them, with the managers and the loser mentality, it's because we care. And because we care, we have the perfect candidate here in our podcast to help elevate this golden generation to glory.
Exactly. Exactly.
I don't know.
So it's either now or in another maybe 12 years, we're going to have some players that got a great future in the family. So that will be the next time. But if they want to accomplish something sooner, there's no Sabo kid. They were in the field with us in the game, and they have a heck of a time.
Oh yeah. More clips.
Yeah. Going back to like the USA before we talk about the next future golden generation. I think now is the time to start really seriously considering a change of manager for the U.S. men's national team.
I agree.
Who's available, Homero?
Dude,
He knows who. Who's available?
Dude, I know who's available. I know who I want. But
What do you guys think is available?
They're not going to go
free agent manager.
I mean, well, Zinedine Zidane is still available, right? But he's not going to go and coach that team. They're not going to splash that money to go and coach that team.
Who's the other one?
The other one's Jurgen Klopp. Jurgen Klopp
is available, man.
He is.
But is he going to want to go and coach the U.S. men's national team? I mean, these are dream managers, right? Yeah. These are dream managers. But why not be ambitious and at least have a conversation with them, right? But the whole thing is like, oh, we need to have an English-speaking coach, blah, blah, blah. I mean,
why not be ambitious?
They suck, man.
And talk to Clint Dempsey.
Yeah, I honestly think that this is the perfect time for a change of manager. I think Greg Berhalter kind of when his contract ran out after the World Cup, I think they did make a mistake in hiring him again. A lot of it has to do with players advocating for him and everything. I think it's time for a change. I really do think that U.S. soccer really needs to weigh their options. They need to go and splash the cash and try to go and get some serious big names to at least make them kind of start thinking. I don't think they're not going to get Zinedine Zidane. They're not going to get Jurgen Klopp, but at least start having some serious conversation. So,
that'd be so good, man.
Who do I think should be? I don't know. It's hard. It's hard to tell, but in all honesty, I think Greg Berhalter has done the job so far. The U.S. as the expectation is that they go and dominate CONCACAF, right? And they won like Copa Oro. They won the League of Nations, right? Mexico right now is just going through a really bad generation of players right now. But I think this is the time. This is the time for them to start looking for a new manager. Greg Berhalter.
No se pudo. No se
pudo, man, with Mexico. I feel bad, but
hey, Zidane was here in Miami Beach riding his bicycle, saying hi to people randomly. You never know. Maybe he's practicing his English.
Yeah.
I agree with Homero that it's time for a change. make a change.
I think it's the perfect time. There's 2 more years before the World Cup. There's not enough significant games, but I think now is the time. Get someone in to go and start making these players a little bit uncomfortable and show like, okay, hey, I really need to go and work for this manager, or I'm not going to play for the national team. I think this is a good group of players. I think there's very good depth for the team, but we need to have a change. Take a look at yourself and make a change.
Hey,
Yeah.
you know, you heard the rumors about
That Michael
the
Jackson.
Inter Miami. He's gonna play the World Cup, the Club World Cup.
Really? Inter Miami?
Yeah,
Did
Inter
they
Miami.
qualify?
So yeah, they fixing everything so
That's
Messi
what I was
can
gonna
be
say.
in
They
every
qualified.
tournament.
They qualified when they signed Messi.
Yeah.
They qualified when they signed Messi. Anyway, U.S. generation, this golden generation, their biggest accomplishment was tying England in the World Cup. That was it.
Yes.
A tie. What were you gonna say? Sorry, I interrupted you.
Me?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, the rumors are because of that they're gonna gear up with good players to play that tournament so they can win it, the club tournament, the World Cup tournament, club tournament. So they're fixing
That's a big tournament. That's gonna be huge.
To bring Sergio Ramos and
Neymar,
Luka Modric, and Neymar.
That's
No,
who they
Luka
want
Modric.
to sign.
Luka Modric has they're already looking into extending him for 1 more year in Madrid.
No.
But
Could
Neymar.
It could
be
be
Neymar for sure.
Neymar's
But
here in the
Neymar-
United States all the time.
I forgot Neymar is even in Saudi Arabia. I forgot about that, man.
I think he has 1 more year left.
Yeah.
So all our
Anyway, those are rumors.
Saudis,
Those are rumors.
you guys ruined football.
They did, man. They ruined it. Benzema, Ronaldo.
You guys are
Oh,
good at making
gosh,
these boxing
Neymar.
matches, but football, man, Benzema is like nothing now, man. Anyway, different conversation. So that was the last segment. Actually, you know what? For the first time, we stuck to our little notes here. I made a little notes.
Submitted
We don't
questions?
need Diego. We don't need Diego here then.
Sure, Diego, dude, you're all embarrassed, man.
Dang. Any questions?
We can do a question here. I still have questions from the first time. It's all from the same 3 people.
Thank you, mommy.
Thank you, mommy, Julia, and dad.
And Julia alterations. No, Sandra alterations.
What's these alterations? What question was it last time that you guys did? Oh, injuries.
What do we think about the arm?
Oh,
you
yeah.
You guys talked about injuries. Ooh, this one is from Homero R. Valenzuela, who's in the podcast. How can the USA Federation improve the quality of the players in games here? So like MLS? That was your question?
Did I ask that?
You did. I'll pull it up right here.
Right here.
Like you mean MLS? What did you mean by that question?
Remember.
I think yeah, because that was the first episode. There was we have so many episodes, so I don't remember that. But I was thinking about I was probably thinking about the whole MLS, because it's I guess it needs a lot of improvement.
I agree. I think getting Messi was very big for the MLS, obviously. Got a lot of views because of that. And naturally, other players joining him, Luis Suarez and Jordi Alba, guys that are past their prime, obviously, but
let me say something. I remember it's the same effect that when Pelé and Frank Beckenbauer came to the Cosmo in New York. There was a soccer team called Cosmo.
man,
Cosmos.
I know de la Pera, but
del año en la Tula, man. Pero it was Pelé and Beckenbauer. They played for that team, and that was that they thought there was going to be. Oh well, this is soccer right here, you know, in United States. But then everything kind of like went away, and then he came back in 1994 when USA hosted the first World Cup here in the United States. And back then, Lalas was one of the players there.
man, I
Tony
love
Meola.
Alexi Lalas.
Tony Meola was the goalkeeper, and there's another guy that's a commentator too that plays in that team. With the guy Jones or something Jones, I don't know. They play for the Galaxy. It was just, I think so, yeah.
Different podcast.
But
Or
anyway,
bringing in David Beckham too. You know, years after that.
That was a joke, man. David Beckham, yeah, heck of a player, but the way they did all that around him, it was just stupid, man.
Yeah, he barely
That was
played for the
stupid.
Galaxy too.
Yeah, he just came for like a season, and then he went back to England again.
And
He
then
went
years
on
after
loan
that,
again.
bringing in Zlatan.
Zlatan, yeah, they're bringing good players.
I think the
Um,
level has been getting better in the MLS.
What about this guy, the German guy,
Schweinsteiger.
Schweinsteiger? Yeah,
Oh, he did. Kaká
Rooney.
in
Kaká.
Orlando.
Rooney.
Rooney.
Well,
Yeah.
the MLS has been bringing in like these. Of course, it's like they're not
Prime.
prime players, right?
Right.
And MLS is just notorious for being the retirement league. I think overall, like if you were to make the comparison, the MLS has grown a lot. It's getting better, and I think they are heading in the right direction. But right now, there are 29 teams. San Diego is going to make it 30. There's 30 teams here in the MLS. Not everyone goes and plays against each other as often as they should. It's the way that they do it is so American, where it's like an Eastern, Western Conference. There's some games that they go and play the same team like 4 times in the year, and then there's one that aren't, or they might play against them one time, right? It's not like a traditional league where everyone plays against each other twice, right?
Right.
But I mean, that's a ton of games for 30 teams. This conversation is always going to be bringing the same thing about the promotion relegation of it. But
Right.
it is heavily driven by what the owners want. The one thing that I hear a lot about these former MLS players, that are foreign, they said that every time, he's like, what we didn't like is that when we don't get into the playoffs, then, or we know that mathematically we won't get to the playoffs, the last games are completely meaningless for them. And it's
Right.
like, okay, we're just
Right.
going to go and prepare for the next season, because there's no punishment. You can end up dead last for 10 years and you're still going to be in the MLS as long as you go and pay
Right.
the franchise fees or whatever that they have.
Yeah.
Right. I really go and truly believe that if they go and cut them down, which the owners are going to hate it, right? But if they cut it down to, let's say, 20 teams, get those other last 10 teams, put them into the USL, right? The USL does have teams. And for example, here in Florida, there's the Tampa Bay Rowdies. They have their own stadium. They have their own infrastructure, right? There's even like Miami, a team that plays in the USL. Why not go and create a promotion and relegation with that? Because those are professional teams in the USL. But again, it's all about money. It's all about money. And
No, yeah, I completely agree with you. Huh? But things they do like this Copa America right now. In Copa America, the USA men's team is playing in the tournament, and they're still playing the MLS
while the MLS is playing. Yeah.
Oh
the
yeah,
MLS is playing. Dude, stop the MLS and go support your team, man. It's just
crazy.
like, it is crazy. Those are the things that don't make sense to me.
They should have
But
taken
I mean,
advantage of,
it's-
that the US is in this unique opportunity that they are hosting these big tournaments, Copa America and then the World Cup, I think it's going to help a lot too. I do agree that it's very weird that the MLS is still going on during the Copa. I didn't even know that until the other day. I saw Jordi Alba scored a goal. I was like, huh? I
Yeah.
was like, what is going on? It was so
What's the
weird.
MLS?
Well, we went to a game between games in the Copa America
Orlando
with
City.
the Orlando City played Chicago Fire.
Right. Yeah. There's a lot of things that
Yeah.
it is going to get better year by year. Once again, I'll say what is great is these tournaments being held here in the US. 2 huge tournaments. That's great. That's going to be great for MLS in general. Signing Messi was a great sign, especially because other players are coming behind him, and then you have these rumors of, Sergio Ramos, Modric. We don't know how many of them will actually sign, but at least
Neymar.
they're rumors, viewership will get better every year. I do think I don't like how they're sticking so much to like the American way of doing it, with American sports here. They're trying to, connect with maybe, American fans in a way that they can understand. But, there's a few things they can change, but overall, it's getting better every year. Like Omero said, it's getting better. So, and that's good, because we're gonna see Matias and Alexis playing in those those
But
teams.
it should. I agree. I agree with that. There should be some kind of punishment for those teams they don't make it to the playoffs or not. 18 teams in the league, I mean, it should be more than enough. The rest you can play like a B, the B league, and then the first 2 go to the Premier League, and the last 2 go to the B. There's got to be something like that. That would be an extra motivation.
Relegation.
Yeah, relegation,
Right.
exactly. So yeah.
Guys, I just did a quick search online. I looked at, the top leagues in the world. Premier League, La Liga, Bundesliga, Serie A, in Italy, in France, even Mexico. Okay, I looked at all of them. And all of them have either 18 or 20 teams in their first division.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And they have incorporated the relegation, with another league.
Dude, that makes it so much fun.
In the United States. Also, there's way more people that live in the United States, 300 something million compared to the other countries, but still, with so many other sports here.
So with 360 million people, they can't find 11 that can represent the country on the field, man. It's just a shame.
They can't find a coach.
That's a whole nother podcast.
They just got to copy
Exactly.
what these other leagues have been so successful in. Cut the number of teams.
Guys,
relegation.
Thank you. If you're still listening, it is 11 o'clock at night for us. That's how much we love to do this. That's the sacrifices we're making. And if you're listening, I appreciate the sacrifice that you have made to make it this far into the podcast. To all our Canadian fans, I'm sorry. To all of
your team sucks.
Argentina fans, I'm not sorry. We don't like you guys.
Actually, we learned a new song for them, but we're not gonna do it in here, right?
I don't even think I'm gonna be able to put the video there. But Chilenos, you guys know what song that is. What a very fun song. Again, I will say thank you again, Dad, for joining us, and thank you for the awesome Father's Day gift of taking us all to a game to Chile. It's not our first game going to go see Chile, but it is our first tournament game. I've never experienced something like that. That was amazing. South Americans, you guys are nuts. Chilenos, you guys are really nuts.
Canadians, you guys are really nice. You don't say anything.
So that's why you say it's true when you say in South America you eat, you breathe soccer. Man. I mean, it's just like it's unbelievable. So
what an experience.
It's good. It was a good experience. I'm glad that you guys had opportunity to live that experience because it was good. I think it's also a different feeling having you myself living in United States, for so long, and then be able to sing my national anthem there. It's just a different thing. So everybody was happy. Even the game was bad. The bar sucks. The referee sucks. The Canadian sucks. And we sucked too because we couldn't score. But anyway, with 10 players, it was hard. But we had a great time.
Very,
Yeah.
very
Kinda
fun
sucked.
time.
Everything
Thank you
sucked.
for that final remarks. Homero, any final remarks?
Man, these next games are going to be fun. They're going to be exciting. Can't wait to go and
Oh,
report
yeah.
on that next episode.
Alonso, final remarks. Injury
Hope of the
report.
players stay safe. You know, no major injuries
See you
and
tomorrow.
no red cards. See
See
you
you
guys tomorrow.
See you
Viva
tomorrow.
America!
Thank you
Real
guys.
buzz.
See you next time. Follow us, like and subscribe on YouTube, Spotify, all of it. Thank you. I feel a little bit less stressed now that Chile's out of the Copa America. I can kind of enjoy the games. Thank you all. Love you all. Stay safe. See you next time.
And see the fireworks, man. Fireworks.
How do you stop the record on this thing?